Hello, all my fire signs. Welcome to your weekly reading by element. So this is for all my Aries, my Leo, my Sagittarians, no matter where you have it in your chart. These messages are for you. We're going to focus in on the dates of August 8th to August 15th. But if you're coming across us outside of that time, of course, the Creator and Spirit, not bound by time or space. So if your gut brought you here, I would trust it. I bet there's a message for you anyway. But if you are listening to this during August 8th to August 15th, today, big day in energy-wise in the spiritual realm, as we've got the Lion's Gate portal happening today, as well as the new moon in Leo. So a lot of beautiful energy that's coming through. I did create Lion's Gate portal readings, which there'll be a link at the end of this video to the playlist for that. And it's by each zodiac sign, so you can see what kind of energies are coming in today and rippling forward. They are part one. Part two we're going to be having coming up beginning of September, which are going to be the autumn equinox readings. I know, already autumn. And where these Lion's Gate portal readings were about what you're ready to surrender. These will be what's falling away from your life to make room for the new. So if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, to make sure you don't miss those, just hit the subscribe, click the little alarm icon, and you'll get notified when those other videos come out as well. But for this week, we're going to see what the Creator wants to know, and we're going to be pulling some cards here from the Divine Guidance, and just to see what the Creator wants you to know about your upcoming week here. Can be what kind of energies you're going to be dealing with, and especially with everything unfolding today, with the energy through the Lion's Gate and the new moon energy. A lot can happen this beautiful week. A lot of great energies. So Creator, okay, there we go. And you got card number 22, and this is beautiful colors in this. And I'm just going to zoom in. These are fractal imaging. The Cheryl Lee Harnish, the creator of these cards. Cheryl, intuitively, we'll see what the card means here. But I always call them like the spiritual inkblot test, because you can see it and see, is there something here that you see and stands out to you? Because that can be an additional message for you. So we'll put that right there and see what message this card brings you. Yep, it's the grid, which makes sense. So this is the living energy matrix of Mother Earth and the secret pathways to other dimensions and realities of existence. The power of the sacred geometry within holds many keys that your subconscious is unlocking. So this card shows your ability to explore and maneuver through other worlds and to bring information back from them. You may do this in the dream time, during meditation, or even unknowingly while completely conscious and alert. Hidden within this card are messages that only you can retrieve. Sit with this one for a while, is what it says. So definitely, and this can mean, connecting to those higher realms, connecting to your higher self, getting higher perspectives and different views. And, because we see the world as we are. So I really feel the energy that's coming in for you this week really has to do with about your perspective and how you see things and being open to new ways of seeing things. And that new moon in Leo definitely brings this energy of newness, right? It's what new seeds are you planting? What new adventures are you going on? What are you embarking on? So I love this for you. We're also going to pull some everyday tarot just to get some clarification for all my fire signs. But yeah, so you can see a whole new world in a matter of moments, like a decision you make inside. About how you feel about yourself, suddenly the world just kind of transforms before you as well. It's amazing and brilliant. And 22 is a master number. And for me, master number 11 is about understanding the ego in the physical world, kind of mastering that journey. And where 22 kicks in is realizing that there's more to you than that human character, that you are ultimately this actor behind this character, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, because 2 and 2. You've got your thinking and your emotions on the physical world as the human and fight or flight and all that wonderful expectations. But you also have your thoughts and your emotions from a spiritual level, your higher level. And so I really feel like this is all about connecting to your higher world and your higher self during this time, which you being fire signs. Fire for me, and especially like the tarot deck, is about your spiritual side, your spiritual journey, in addition to your drive and, that spark within you. So that, this fire is coming for you this week. It's your nature, it's what you enjoy being in. The heat of the kitchen per se doesn't bother you because you're like a chef. You're chef of your life. Okay, so these are the 4 that the Creator wants to bring forward. And so your first one is the 6 of Pentacles. So this is all about, giving and receiving, being open to not just being a giver, but being open to actually receiving. I love in this particular card, it shows this balance here. And for me, this always is, this is your light being, your higher self, and this is your physical being and your human experience. And kind of what unfolds for us is this understanding that there are 2 of us, 2 sides of us experiencing this life. And if you are too involved in the earthly side of things, which is how we start off, right? I mean, we experience it to its fullest, probably in the first half of our life. And we come here specifically for that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's our purpose. It's really why we come here, to experience that contrast between, light and dark, between unlimitedness and unconditional love, and feeling limited and small and conditional love, feeling fear where we normally don't feel fear on the other side. So this beautiful experience we have is balanced with our spiritual side. And if we, as I was starting to say, if we spend all of our lives down here with just roots growing into the ground, then the tree and or the bushes don't grow, and the fruit and the berries and the fruitfulness of this life, it doesn't take its full impact for us. But if we're hardly any roots and just all spiritual, then when a storm comes, we tip over because there's no roots that are holding us strong either. So we want to experience all these opposites because it allows us to understand more fully who we are. And that contrast is an amazing thing. So I love that this comes in here too, around this 2 and 2, because it's showing the 2 of you right here in this card. And then we're going to zip over to this one. Because you got the 3 of Swords. Swords are all about our mindsets, our beliefs, our thoughts, our attitudes. And you can see that these are the ones that feel like heartbreak, because I call this the expectation card. It's all these things that we've been taught in the external world, that these things are supposed to fulfill us and make us whole and complete. And they are temporary and usually disappointing. And so that's what makes us feel heartbroken. And what that feeling of heartbroken actually is our fight or flight kicking in. That pinch in our heart, that prick in our heart, when the sword slides in, that's actually our fight or flight mechanism within our body that clicks in to protect us and defend us, because we've been taught that all these things out here define us. And if this thing doesn't come true, then we fear being rejected. We fear being ostracized outside our tribe, dying alone of hunger in the wilderness. That's like this deep, deep, dark result when these expectations aren't met. It's what's whispered to us that keeps us in that fear, right? And so I love this because it's like understanding this is part of our human side. This is part of our upbringing, our conditioning. There's a piece of it that's part of our nature of survival, right? Don't jump off a cliff, and we naturally know, oh, don't jump, that we're going to die. So there's some things that are there to protect us, but there's so much of our emotional dinosaurs that are in us, these emotional monsters, that we are like, oh my gosh, that's going to kill me. And it's like, no, it won't. A lot of people go through heartbreak and survive. In fact, most people do, unless you take your own life. It's like you learn to love again. You learn to find something else to define yourself by, or you find your inner self and your inner worth, right? Yep, and then you have the Ace of Swords. So this is perfect because this is the sword. This is your power of choice, right? So you use this to cut away these expectations and these old thoughts, these old ways of believing about yourself. And so this is basically saying that during this time you have such a strong power and awareness that if you question, yourself and begin to really focus on connecting to your higher realm, your higher self, you do see things from just a totally different perspective. Yeah, because you've got the Emperor here. And the Emperor represents like society, mankind being unkind. But they're actually, society tries to put all these rules in place for us so that we can all get along and all try to live the dream of finding love and finding the things, in search of all these things out here. So it places all these rules in place, but like anything, we'll go overboard with it to where we feel suppressed and oppressed, and we have that's where these expectations actually a lot of come from, is this emperor trying to control, our inner emperor trying to control the world so we can make sure all these things happen so that we can be lovable and acceptable. But the aha comes when we realize that all these things, they're actually designed to disappoint, because they eventually, with enough disappointment, turn us inward to find what we're really searching for, which is the unconditional love, the unconditional acceptance from the higher realms, right? And they're designed, we're almost like set up for failure. It is just the nature of the beast, because if everyone has an opinion and they vary and even contradict one another, if we're trying to please all the people all the time, it ain't gonna happen, right? And so that's what this comes about, is like, yes, this Ace of Swords brings you this power. It's like, I think is it the Archangel Gabriel? And they usually have the one that has the sword, the protector that comes, but this is your power, where you can cut away old beliefs that no longer serve you, and it leaves room to replace it with higher ways of thinking, like this says, bringing in that higher knowledge into yourself and letting that flow out to the world. And it can just be, it doesn't have to be like you have a podcast or something or a book that you're writing, but definitely if you feel that on your heart and that's something that makes your heart sing to do it. But the biggest thing that we can do to help the world is by changing ourselves and our own beliefs, because then people see it and you live it, and then that unfolds for you. All right, and then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Divine Directions, just to see what the final message the Creator has for our beautiful fire signs. Okay, Creator, what is your final message here for our fire signs? Okay. Any others? Okay. So you've got flow. You need more flexibility in your life. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Yeah, these expectations are restricting, right? So I'm going to put this one right here, because this is go with that inner flow. This is a freedom that comes when you start letting these things go, right? And then you have create. Unlock your creative side. with dance, music, art, or writing, express yourself. So yeah, definitely expressing this inner love and this, it's basically, how do you want to express the unconditional love in your heart? How do you want to express it to the world? You can co-create that and express that how you want and how it makes your heart sing. You don't want to fall into these expectations and, okay, this is how they do it, so this is how I should do it, and then it feels like work. So if it feels like work, you're not expressing it the way you want, you're expressing it the way you think you should or need to or have to or are supposed to, all those expectations. So when you free yourself from that and you go with this flow, it just flows out with this creative, beautiful, joyful feeling, right? So I love this for you for this week, all my fire signs. So be your light. And as you go throughout this week, just know every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. Have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.